Hey, good afternoon. We thought we would come out here on our beautiful front porch in the Indiana countryside, but I gotta be honest, if a bee or wasp comes by, I am out of here so fast. Yeah, you might be seeing that little girl scream happening pretty soon. I'm not a big nature fan. I kind of like to look at nature. I don't like to experience it. But
It's
anyway,
about mindset.
yeah, yeah. I need to listen to what I'm about to say because yeah, I don't do flying critters, crawling critters or critters. Yeah. Anyway, hey, I'm Lainey. This is
I'm Brian.
Brian. And today we're going to talk about a little bit about mindset and how to handle it when the bees are buzzing right by your face all the time and act like you don't care. So how do you handle things when they don't go according to plan, when the bees come right at you and you weren't expecting that? How do you react? You're going to see how I react. We learned probably not early enough on in our marriage, but that expectations are huge, and having your expectations in the right place makes all the difference in how happy you are. And I think one just landed in my hair. But so expectation, mindset. This is awesome. Yeah, just look at the tree, because the tree's gorgeous. Okay, so we are just so hardwired to fear uncertainty, to fear the unknown, and that fear can just completely harm the current quality of our life, the happiness we're experiencing right now. When we worry about an unknown future, that kills the joy that we can be having in the moment. When I'm worried at Disney World about whether or not we're going to make it to our dining reservation, or whether or not a ride's going to break down, I'm suddenly no longer enjoying where we are right now. But that's thinking of uncertainty in the wrong way, because we are suffering from only having the illusion of control about the situation.
And it's so true because, just the way we live our lives and trying to get things done and having task lists, we think that we're in control, and we really aren't.
No.
I'm reading a book by Neil deGrasse Tyson, Astrophysics for People in a Hurry, which I know, fine, tease me. But no, it's a really good book.
Who wouldn't pick up that book?
But in there, towards the beginning, he talks about the known universe and how much we actually know of the known universe. How much of it do we know? We only know 5% of the known universe. So that means 95% of the known universe we know nothing about. And I think of that, and I think of, well, how little of that's what we know. That's a far cry from what we actually control. And, life is ever changing. And the irony is, one of the few certainties of life is that it's going to be uncertain, and you don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly. And all you have to do is hang out with us and our 10 children for a minute and a half, and you know how little control we have and how uncertain everything is. We can plan anything to the nth degree, and I guarantee the reality will end up looking nothing like that. So what we need is a mindset shift, because too often we think of life as a game of chess. And I am so guilty of this, that input A, output B all day long, right? Carefully planned strategies. I'm going to go to school, and I'm going to get good grades. And if I get good grades in school, I would go to college, and then I will get a job. And that job will, I will get promoted in the job because I will work hard. And it will work out in a perfectly ordered plan. And then when inevitably things don't go according to plan, we get upset.
And that's because life is not a game of chess. And I know, and we trick ourselves, that illusion of control. We trick ourselves in that with thinking that, we're taking these steps to do things a certain way. But uncertainty exists, and it's there. And so life is really, I heard this analogy from Noah Rasheta, and he talks about life isn't a game of chess. it's a game of Tetris.
Which you have to be old enough to understand that reference, but hopefully you guys can remember.
For those of you that are young, it's a game with different shapes. But you don't know what's coming next, is the reality. And you don't get to choose the pieces, only where the pieces, how you're going to play them. And often it's not in the most optimal way that you could do that. And so when you think of it that way and have that mindset shift, you begin to realize, well, what does it benefit me to get upset? I mean, if I'm playing Tetris and I really want that square, and I get that little S-shaped piece, why? I get upset.
That S-shaped piece, that was a killer.
It was.
It was a killer.
It never fit
all
well.
the time.
Never fit well.
But I hate the S-shape. I like the line.
But you get upset about it. I mean, isn't that silly to sit there and be getting upset and ranting and raving? Well, this isn't the right piece, and that's not the piece I planned for, and it's not what I wanted, on and on. And all that does is it distracts you from the present moment. In work, I get a curveball thrown at me, and it's like, I get frustrated. I'm like, well, wait a second. It clouds my thinking, and it takes me away from what I need to be focusing on in the moment, how I need to address the situation.
So, what do you do with that? How do you, change that? Well, it's accepting that change and uncertainty are inevitable, and trying to just learn to enjoy the ride. As cliche as that sounds, be comfortable with the unknown. Our son just got his first job, and plans change. He found out he was flying to Dallas, and then with a week's notice, and then with 2 days notice, no, you're not, you're going to North Carolina. And it's like learning to just be flexible with that, rather than getting upset, rather than allowing the anxiety to take hold. Don't fear the unknown. Just try and figure out how to be curious, So I was fired up. I'm like, you're going to Raleigh. That's awesome. That's a, beautiful, beautiful part of the country. It'll be so fantastic that you're there. And so find out everything you can about Raleigh, and, try and be curious about what's going to happen next, and focusing on the journey, and being aware that this could end up with a whole new set of outcomes that are better and more exciting than anything you could have planned to begin with.
The other important thing is to be flexible. That we can't be rigid with our plans, because we know that they're going to change. There's going to be things that happen that we don't anticipate. My background in landscape architecture, I remember studying about trees and the proper way to stake a new tree so it handles the wind. And it's interesting, there were studies out there that if the tree was actually staked too strong and wasn't given the opportunity to bend, they would actually become weaker. And so, being flexible is really, take it as a sign of growing and getting stronger. And it's actually that tree bending some in the wind that reinforced the strength of the trunk. Conversely, if you're brittle, you're dead. You're not able to bend with things that change, and that you'll be unable to handle life's challenges.
So we're trying to, impart this to our children, to be accepting both of the conditions where they are, and also being aware and sensitive to the conditions of where other people are. One example is Laura Lee is terrified of storms and weather, and good luck trying. You freaking out about the thunderstorm doesn't make the thunderstorm go away. She thinks that maybe if she freaks out more, maybe it'll have more impact. But anyway, so it doesn't. It hasn't worked yet. But so we're trying to teach her. You don't choose the weather chooses us. And don't waste your time wishing that things were different, because it doesn't actually improve the situation. You have to move forward with as much positivity and compassion for the situation as you can muster, because in the end, the frustration is only harming you and only speaking death over whatever is going on. And so just try and put on the happy face type thing, and try and see the good. So anyway, let us know how you respond to things, if you're brave. Put it in the comment. What is your normal go-to response? And then maybe come back in a couple days after you've thought about this and you're aware. Has it changed? Has it been a little easier to be more positive about how things are going?
Yeah.
So
yeah, and catch yourself. Don't get frustrated with yourself, but awareness is the key. So when you catch yourself reacting in a way you don't want to, like, okay, you know what? This is just a Tetris game.
It's a Tetris.
Move
Oh,
on.
I got the S piece, man. Really wanted the block or the line.
Maybe next
The
time.
line's
You don't
best.
know what's coming next.
All right. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Take care. Bye.